You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible.
The fallout continues over the announcement between Jay-Z and the NFL that was announced on Wednesday. One thing that's really interesting is that Charlamagne the God posted a video on his Instagram page where he says that his comments were actually edited for the NFL Network. So let me explain to folks what actually happened. What actually happened is that when they had that news conference, select media was invited to the news conference. They then said no video, no photos, but the folks there were able to actually record audio. We were told that. Mark Thompson, of course, went on our behalf. We had him on the show discussing it, and I was concerned. I raised the issue about not having, like, who was recording the video. Well, now all of a sudden we've seen these excerpts that have been dropped by the NFL Network, and to see Charlamagne say that his comments were edited out, I have sent notice to the NFL. I was to folks there saying that full video needs to be released. Avis, I don't understand. I mean, first of all, it's real interesting that, look, I get it recording audio, but the reality is if you post an audio clip, it's different than you post a video clip.
Right.
And so I had an issue with the NFL controlling the video to that news conference and then sending it out, whenever they wanted to, as opposed to it being an open and free news conference. And so when I saw Charlamagne's post, that was nuts to me. That for him to say that the NFL literally edited his question, and so what you saw on his page was not actually lining up with what took place in the room.
Who can be surprised by this? Now, really, this is the NFL that we're talking about. This is the institution who colluded in order to punish a player, Colin Kaepernick, for his ability and for his bravery in terms of exercising his free speech abilities in this nation. And so why should we be surprised with anything that they do? Clearly, this was some sort of move that they're trying to do to be able to in some way move on past this lingering public relations problem that they have, since they continue to refuse to hire this man. And also since they had to settle that lawsuit, which suggests that they admitted some culpability in terms of their collusion. And so they wanted to be able to move on and change the narrative. And what better way to do that than to bring in a black face to say, hey, we need to move on. And now I'm not surprised at all that they have let out an edited video which puts the best spin on it, at least they thought put the best spin on it from their perspective. This isn't going away anytime soon. I think they underestimated the backlash that they would get from it. And I also think, quite frankly, that Jay-Z underestimated the backlash that he got from it. And even if they were to release the whole news conference, which they probably should have in the first place, I really don't think this is going to be an easy pill for a lot of people to swallow, because a lot of us still think that they're wrong.
Kelly, from a communication standpoint, you would think that the NFL would be fair and release the whole deal, but clearly games are being played here.
I mean, from an NFL standpoint, I actually see what they're doing. They're trying to put themselves in the best light as possible, but them putting out edited clips of audio and not even video also suggests that something happened at that conference that they don't want us to see or assume happened, glean from. So when you do something like that, it doesn't look good. The fact that Charlamagne's clips were edited and he's the one who found out, or those are the ones that were released, that's also very interesting, because Charlamagne's base is predominantly black, and they're predominantly the people who would be watching football games should this actually blow over. So the fact that it was actually Charlamagne stuff, that's actually what's making it sound like really fishy to me, that they specifically picked him out of whoever and however many people were actually at that conference. They picked his quote and his tweets or whatever to actually doctor in an attempt to, make this blow over, and it blew up in their face.
Avis, about 40 minutes ago, TMZ Sports posted this story saying exclusive, Jay-Z to become part owner of NFL team. Now, in this story, it says sources connected to Jay and with direct knowledge tell us Jay is going to have a significant ownership interest in an NFL team. As for which team, we're not being told, but we are told it is going to happen in the near future. Now, again, this is TMZ Sports. This has not been, of course, confirmed by anyone else. But this is certainly adding another log to the fire of people who have been critical of him forming this alliance with the NFL around entertainment as well as social justice. And folks are saying, oh, now we see why this deal was cut. Just your initial thoughts.
Well, then the first thing that he should do as owner is to pick up Colin Kaepernick. How about that, Jay-Z?
Exactly.
That's my thoughts.
Well, we'll see what actually happens. We'll see what actually happens there.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, you've heard me talk a lot about marijuanastock.org. Why? Because I want to keep you informed of investment opportunities that make sense. We've all watched the growth of the cannabis industry. A recent report by New Frontier Data estimates the global cannabis market at over $340 billion. Now, we know that marijuana legalization is sweeping the country state by state. We also know that marijuana has a good cousin, the hemp plant, which with a much higher concentration of CBD. That means hemp gives you all the medical benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Now, until recently, hemp farming was practically illegal in the U.S. and heavily regulated by the DEA. However, the 2018 Farm Bill changed all of that, making it legal to grow hemp CBD in the U.S. and creating one of the largest commodities worldwide. They need land to grow all of the plants. And folks, isn't rocket science. It's an incredible investment opportunity. And that's where our good friends at 420 Real Estate come in. Their business model is simple. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to licensed high-paying tenants. That's right, they are hemp CBD landlords, and you can get in on the action. The folks at 420 Real Estate decided to do something special for Roland Martin Unfiltered family. Originally, the minimum investment level was $500. Right now, you can invest in this crowdfunding campaign for as little as $200. That's right, $200 up to $10,000. Now, let me recap. This is a $340 billion worldwide industry, and it's growing. You can participate with as little as $200. To invest, go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org. Get in the game and get in the game now. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.